Right, can you say hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our day. Why they are sat like this, we do not know. But it's absolutely hilarious, especially Dixie. What's up? Good
Driving or something.
morning,
Oh.
people.
Hi.
We're just having a bit of a rant. Two things has happened that's been shite this morning. First one, Instagram. You're going to find this hilarious because we did. But
I remember again.
when I opened my my Instagram this morning, I had an alert. Somebody's reaching out. Which basically means somebody's reported a picture because they're concerned for your welfare. Then when you carry on, like click OK, it then shows you the picture that they've reported. And then another report quickly came up. Somebody's concerned of your welfare. So I carry on and I press OK again, and it comes back to this picture.
I didn't realise that two popped up. I thought that it only popped up once and said two
Nope.
people had done it.
Popped up twice. Do you want to know what it was? My picture with my new bra.
People are concerned, babe. Very concerned.
The one that's got like, if you've seen on my Instagram, I'm sat here in my wheelchair with my new bra just on the outside of my clothes, just like resting on my top. Somebody's reported it. I don't think anybody in the mental health area on Instagram is going to help me with the size of my tits. It's not going to happen. So, there's that one. Second one, we've just come out to come to the car to go to the tooth doctor. And some little shit has taken another chunk out of our freaking car.
Then tried to rub it off.
Yeah, because there was fingerprints all over it, trying to, like, as if they've been like that.
In fact, you can tell it's a younger person.
Small finger.
Small.
And it's such a deep gouge that it will need filling and then re-spray painting. And I said to Soph that it pisses me off that people aren't teaching their kids that if they do something wrong, if they break something or if they damage something, they are not teaching them to go and say sorry or to own up to it. And instead, we just then find out these things when we see it when we're next out. So we're a little bit pissed. But we are at the house. We are on our way to drop off another sputum because I coughed up a whacking bit of nasty coloured stuff. So I'm going to send it again.
It's like proper brown.
Yeah. And
About it.
no, I'm going to say it now. The other thing that's really cheesed us off, you know I sent off a sputum a few weeks ago? Because my temperatures were really high, I wasn't feeling well. As you guys know, my lungs have been really shit at the minute. Well, it came back saying satisfactory, which I think we told you. And we were like, well, what the hell does that mean? So I rung them up and they turned and said, oh, it's just part of like normal bugs that can be in your lungs, but we're waiting for the rest of the results to come through. And then when the rest of the results come through, it says that I've got Staph aureus in my lungs, which to 99% of the world, Staph aureus will not cause problems. For me, however, Staph aureus has put me in hospital and intensive care more than just a handful of times. And the fact that somebody's just been like, meh, it's fine, and dismissed it is disgusting. Because it's not helped my situation. Thankfully, the new regime of antibugs that I'm on that change every month, like 3 different antibugs and it changes every month, so there's one like different each month over the 3-month period. Those antibugs are specific to many of the bugs that they've seen over the years that have constantly come back in my sputum, and they're just trying to keep like going with it to try and prevent it instead of just waiting for it to happen and treat. But obviously I've still ended up with this infection. So once I ended up coughing this nasty bit up recently, I've put it in a pot and I'm off to send it again. So let's see if they give me the same response, and if they do, I'm gonna have to state, look, it might be fine for others, but for me it's not. So once we've done that, that's when we got to go off to the Nasher doctor, and then we got to do some shopping. We're having a custody.
Yay!
We've been to the Nasher doctor, and we'll update you on that later.
Yeah.
But for now, we're gonna have some coffee and cheesecake.
I'm having a hot chocolate because it sounded really cool.
And I'm having a coconut and vanilla latte.
Done?
You have an appendage.
I do.
Can you see the eye, people?
There's an eye in there.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. So, because we had to leave the girls at home, they've already gone wild a bit in here. They've destroyed toys and destroyed the living room. But we said to them that we would get them something because we were going to be gone a little while. So here's their little something. There's a little frog and there's a donut. Let's see which one takes what. It's cute because that donut's like Soph's pillow, and we got another donut that's like my pillow upstairs. Donut with her little green ball hanging out her face. Wow! What is it? Yeah, thanks, Mum. Oh, I wasn't too sure. Mummy. Oh, Mummy. Dixie's just like rams her face at it. I've still got a ball in my face. Green frog. Can you try it again, Yum Mum? Oh yeah, oh crap.
No, I'm okay with broken.
Well done.
Yeah, oh shit. Have the giraffe in there. Donut!
I've still got ball in my face.
Shit,
It's there, Mum.
Can you get it? I can, Mum.
Yay.
Okay, I'm shredding his eyeball.
Cute. Yeah. Oh, donut. Oh, I slipped. Donut. Yeah. I've still got ball in my face.
Yeah. Oh.
That was crap, Mummy. Cute. Just out of it. I'm so tired. I've literally not slept today, and it's not how I survive or function. And Alba's not been happy about that either. She's been begging to come to bed since, I think it was like 8:30. Thanks, Mum.
You're gonna bring it up? Okay.
And Dixie's in a funny sort of mood. Something's upsetting her, and she's not liking it. She's not having her treat. Well, she even just spat out her dentist thing to us, and that's not like Dixie. She's not eating it either. She just sat there. Bring it up here, Dixie.
Can I have your treat?
Bring it up here.
Get your treat and bring it up. Can I bring up your treat?
You don't like it when our girls aren't
She's
happy.
like, what? Can you pass the grabber? Is that reachable?
Boom.
What are you doing now? Holy crap, Mama.
But the dentist. Well, we get there. Come up here, baby girl.
Come and lie down up
Come
here.
lie here. Come here.
Come up here.
Come here with your bum. With your bum.
Bum
Dixie,
in here.
come sit here.
And then turn around. And then have this by your face.
There you go. You can eat it now. Come on in.
How the heck am I
You gonna eat
supposed to? Oh, I do
Come on.
like them, Mama.
Thanks.
What the heck is she?
Don't know.
She can
Something's.
sense something, 100%.
Yeah. She keeps looking outside. Dixie, you gonna eat it? Shall I eat it? Is it mine? Mine? Dixie's?
The heck, man?
We don't like it when she's like this.
Do you want me to break it in half?
Can you do that? Mummy's got muscles. Ooh. Oh, I don't know. Normally, if you touch it on her gums, she then realises that, oh yeah,
Not done it yet.
I actually really like that.
Well, if you're gonna put it on my tongue, then I don't have a choice. Very, very chewy, man. She also looks knackered, to be fair.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful face. Oh.
You gonna break up some more for me, Dad?
Oh my God.
I'll do it if you. I'll eat it if you do that. Yeah. Thanks, Mum. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Well, I'm just gonna be doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Then.
So, back with the dentist. When I rung them, or shall I say, when they told us there was a dentist available for us to go to an NHS one, I asked a question. And the question was, my mum, you went too far. Unless she was burning her butt on the water.
Quite possible. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Might have to just give it a bit by bit down there. The question that's
No.
Dixie's.
You've already eaten yours, baby girl.
The question I asked them, I'll get there, was, is it fully wheelchair accessible? They came back and told me yes. Gave me the number to ring the dentist. So I ring the dentist, book the appointments, and again, I asked them, is everything fully wheelchair accessible? Yeah. So we go to our appointment today. We get there perfectly fine. Get through the door. Fantastic. All level access. Navigation around it was not too bad. The toilet was good. There was wide doors and frames in there.
Yeah.
I didn't go through all we Soph did. And then Soph had her appointment. She'll tell you how that one goes in a minute. And literally I say to Soph, just before I go in, or just before she goes in, no, it was just before I went in because you'd already been in, I said, I can guarantee you this dentist surgery place, in terms of level access, is going to be wheelchair accessible, is going to be level access and wide doors only. I go into the dentist.
To be fair, you forgot the bit about how when I was in there, she said to me, can Charlie transfer? And I was like, not really.
I mean, I can, but because I don't know what the equipment's like, I don't know what to grab onto. It's just not safe.
No. And then she was just like, okay, well, we'll have to see if, like, everything will reach her then.
Yeah. So I go in, get my chair all in the position, tilted back, and whatever else. Everything reaches. She needs to then take x-rays. Perfect, all reached. And
that's your last piece, okay, baby girl?
Then the concern comes. Because
keep it there.
Although everything can reach her, because the dentist would have to be stood up, which I agree is not safe, particularly with having drills and God knows what else in their hands. If they were to do a fill-in or some form of repair work, it just wouldn't be safe. She would have to be stood up with a drill in her hand, trying to maneuver the foot pedal with maneuvering tools in my face. And
it's basically like trying to sew on a sewing machine stood up.
Yeah. The chairs aren't even in a position where they can move them out and bring like my wheelchair in or something like that. Like in Bodmin, when I had my tooth removed, they had this little gadget that your chair can go on and the machine tilts you back. And
ew, oh,
they had none of this there. And she calls in another dentist. Nice. And he agrees. It's just not safe. So then they go and get the practice manager. She comes in and we start discussing it, and she too agrees it is not safe for both me and the team. So what they're going to try and do, it's probably not feasible, probably cannot happen, and we'll probably have to wait for another surgery, basically, is me have basic treatment there, so checkups to make sure everything's okay, if I've got any problems, blah, blah, blah. And then if I need any treatment, I'm going to have to go to a completely different surgery. More than likely, Bodmin, that's where we discussed today. But they also did mention it might have to be St Austell, which is quite far.
Yeah.
It's a good 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. And the next bit of shitty news, remember when I had this tooth removed and they turned around and said they think they might have to pull the one in front as well because my wisdom tooth was impacted into the one in front, and because it had been broke for so long, they thought that the tooth in front was destroyed as well. When they took the tooth out, they then had a look into it and said, well, if it doesn't look good, we'll just pull it now whilst you're numb. Perfectly fine with that. She had a good old look and she couldn't see any marks, any holes, nothing. Fast forward to today, and they did x-rays and they saw the same shadow that they saw on the other x-ray, which they thought was just like a bit of a weird thing on the x-ray. And there's now... I think she doesn't want to eat it, but she doesn't want Albert to go near it either.
So I'm eating that last time.
Yeah.
Piece now, man. That was the last piece, baby girl. You've had about 1.5 treats.
The hole in front of... The hole that hadn't appeared on that tooth now has appeared. So it means now I need to be re-jabbed in that tooth. But the problem is they're going to have to wait for the wisdom tooth to have been fully healed. Because if they start jabbing needles in an open wound in my mouth, it's going to be extremely unpleasant. And then the next shit thing is, they decided to take pictures of this side. And basically, what has happened to this wisdom tooth has happened to this one. It's partly come through, and the reason why it's no longer coming through 10 years later, 10 plus years later, is because it's sodden impacted into the tooth in front. So, I'm going to have to go through all of what I've just had on this one, with this one, and because of the impact into my other tooth, it's actually taken away part of the tooth in front, underneath the gum, so that tooth's going to have to come out as well. If this keeps happening...
You're only going to have your 2 front teeth.
Literally.
All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
If this happens to this one, and it happens to this one, I will end up with 8 teeth being removed because of stupid wisdom teeth that we don't even need anymore because we don't chow down on grass. Both wisdom teeth and appendixes shouldn't grow anymore.
And tonsils.
They're not necessary and they're not needed.
Are tonsils needed? Because I just find mine frustrating.
Yeah, but yours are. They are huge. And she gets lots of tonsil stones.
Do.
You can't even see my tonsils. They're that hidden.
You can't. They're so small. Yeah.
I didn't even know about tonsil stones until I met Sophie, and I was like, what are you on about? And then she showed me her tonsils. It's like, why are your tonsils so large?
They always are.
Yeah. I used to look after kids who would have their... If they had tonsils like that all the time, that wasn't tonsillitis, they would have gone to surgery at the age of 3, 4 and had them removed.
Would they do that for me now?
Well, it's probably obstructing your sleep because they are so large. I'm being legitimate. They are huge.
Yeah.
If we can get a picture one day, we'll show you.
Look at me tonsils, guys.
Yep. So, oh, and on top of that, because I grind my teeth, there's 2 teeth here, which I know anyway, because this one up here that's got a fill-in, I've grinded it down so much that the edge of the fill-in is actually, like, hanging out. But now, because that's hanging out, it's now grinded away 2 teeth down here, so these need building back up as well. Which I've been building the one back up now for, I think, about 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going to hand you to Sophie so she can tell you what hers says, because my arm's aching.
thought it was. I could see it shaking. So, when I went into the dentist, we saw this lovely dentist.
She was very lovely.
Yeah, she was absolutely lovely.
I thought she was going to sit.
Yeah, Alba just stood at the bottom of the bed and literally looked like she was about to sit on Charlie's meds. So that was interesting. But I'm trying to so you guys can. There we go. Oh no. Why do I always have? Do you have reflections when you look at it? She's doing her breathing thing.
I do. Sometimes I get it in the bit of the lens here, but then I either remove my glasses or I just tilt my head at a different angle.
Yeah, but if I do that, my chin gets worse.
Your chin's the same. It's always there.
No, that's bad. That's bad. God, that was attractive.
You look like bloody Chewbacca, but not hairy.
Anyway, back to me and my dentist. So, I can't remember what I said before. God,
Back to me and my dentist.
yeah. Please cut that bit out. I look like an idiot. Anyway, so I went in and all was nice and everything like that. And she took a look and she said, firstly, that my teeth were extremely clean and that I brushed very well.
I need to tell you something about that after.
With the people or without the people?
With the people.
Okay. But yeah. Oh my God, your phone is so heavy. I've barely been sat here and I'm like dropping you guys like this. Got issues? Anyway, back to it again. And she's having a look and my front two teeth, well not my front two, but like the twos as they call them, this one and this one. If you didn't know,
they're fake! Partially fake.
Partially fake. My twos have always been absolutely tiny.
It just reminded me of a post that Jessie J did the other week saying the only thing fake about her body is her two front teeth.
Yeah.
Because she's got two front fake teeth there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I clicked the button which ended our conversation. I apologise. Anyway, again, yeah, these two teeth, this one and this one, are partially fake because those two teeth have always been really like thin and thin as in like whoa. Thin as in like this is the thickness of a normal tooth. Half of that is the thickness of my small teeth, as I like to call them. And so they built them up with composite filling to make them into normal looking teeth. But when they did that, and I said from word go that the backs of them felt really rough, but when they did that, it was a good few years ago now, they didn't wrap it around the whole of the tooth properly, so then there was like a misalignment, sort of like a gap around my tooth, which bits of food and things obviously got stuck in, and even when I did brush my teeth, it couldn't always get out, which has caused, I don't know if you're going to see, like, focus, it's caused like this blackness here, and there's a bit here as well, and I think a bit there. But it's caused that. So with those two now, they're going to have to redo them. So I'm guessing they're going to somehow, I don't know how they do it, whether they've got to file it off or what, because they've got to file it off. Yeah. Oh, terrifying. They're going to have to file off my fake teeth and then rebuild them. So, yeah. Your phone made a funny noise. And then, like, my back two teeth, when I had my braces, the top one, at one point, I had the brace on, and they moved so much at that point that the wire continued poking out the back, and it just put a hole straight in through my tooth. It's not a massive hole, but they said that they want to fix it just because to prevent from it getting worse, really. And the similar happened on the bottom when they were trying to remove my braces. They cut the wire at the back, but they also cut like a line into my back tooth, my bottom one. And I mentioned that to her and sort of said that it gets really annoying and sometimes it doesn't really clean as well. I don't think. And so they're going to be doing a bit to that as well. So in one half an hour session, I'm going to be having this tooth done, and these tooth done.
These
Yay!
tooth done.
Yes, I said that. I was hoping nobody would realise. Anyway, so that's me. Yay! But yeah, considering I've not seen a dentist in 5 years, obviously I've seen the orthodontist, but that's different. Considering I've not seen a dentist themselves in 5 years, I don't think my teeth are that bad. Look how shiny they are. On to you. That's a really unattractive face, right? Why are you sharing that with them? Please get rid of that when you do it.
Nope. I would show you my teeth, but they're currently pink from my Montulu cast. But
Yum.
the last thing I was going to say was when I went in there, she turned and said to me, like, when was the last time I was registered at a dentist? I was like, 8 years ago. And then she asked me if I floss.
Oh, yeah.
And I turned and said, no, never flossed. Don't see the point. I didn't say that, don't see the point, but in my head I was just like, don't see the point. A brush. And she was like, you really do need to floss because otherwise you won't get your teeth all clean. I felt like I was a child, to be honest. You know, when you tell your kids, like, you better clean them all, otherwise they'll all fall out. And then she looked at my teeth and she's like, your teeth are actually really clean.
I found it funny because obviously she said that to me as well, that my teeth were really clean. There was no evidence of plaque or anything. And I was just like, proud.
It just really made me chuckle with the fact she was like, basically saying your teeth are going to be dirty. And they weren't.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to know, the toothbrush we have is the Oral-B something.
Put a picture in here.
Yeah. And it's really, really good. And you can get different types of heads as well if you want one for sensitive teeth or like...
We've got the sensitive tooth one on now.
For like different tooth problems or gum problems, etc.
It's really good because if you're pressing too hard, it flashes up red.
Yeah. And as well, it buzzes. Like, it's... Basically, it has 4 quadrants in your mouth, which is this bottom, this top, and this top. And basically, once it, like, does a certain amount of time allocated to, like, each quadrant, and it buzzes to let you know that you finished on that quadrant. And that's the minimum amount of brushing that you're recommended to do. I tend to do more than that, which is absolutely fine. But it just sort of allows you to know that you've brushed for at least the minimum amount of time.
And we do have little flossy things because Soph uses them more than anything. And they've got like little picks on the end. I don't know if...
You're going to show them our swords, aren't you?
2 seconds. So...
Did you get much of that?
Possibly. These are our little tooth floss things. So they've got the little... And then they also... Can you focus on it? Hang on. Look at that. So if you get rid of this, it's a bloody sword.
It's a literal, like a Viking sword.
Jab that in your gnashers. Oh, focus on my face. There you are. How violent is this? I was shocked when we got them out of the packet.
I am such a child. I've just had this image of us like doing like a little play sword fight. So cool.
So, This vlog is the longest we've had in a little while.
Yeah, sorry.
But anyway, that's it for today. Soph has got an ECG and bloods tomorrow to see whether her body is well enough and safe enough to start the changeover to new happy drugs. And then on Thursday, got an appointment with the medical solicitor team.
When you do that with your nose looks very funny and rude. Especially with the shadow of the bridge of your glasses. If you get me drift. My nose doesn't do it.
It's because you don't flare your nose.
I can't. Just try and concentrate. I did it. Oh, I did it. Oh, can you stop doing that?
Soph also can't move her ears. We can't even see your ears.
No. I can do this eyebrow, but I can't do this one without doing both. Let us know your quirky little...
Party tricks.
Oh,
So,
not so, as it were.
your lack of.
Stop flaring your nose. It must be the angle of the phone because it's never done up before. You creepy. I don't like it.
It's because my glasses keep falling down. But when they're up properly, they look like they're not even like on my face. It looks like they're floating because this bit isn't sitting on the bridge of my nose. Because if that's the case, it would be like this. I don't know why they're designed like this.
No.
But anyway, thanks for coming on and stay with us. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, everyone.